Welcome to GMT in the Classroom. We have Cuba Libre. The guys just finished playing the game. Now what they're doing is they're learning the history behind the Cuban Revolution, but they're doing it through the thing of play, which is really kind of cool. These games are not really simulations, but it does teach you the history, a little bit of history behind playing certain games, especially with the coin series games. And these guys just finished Cuba Libre. First of all, I believe July 26 won, right, Jay?
Yeah.
Yeah. So how did you achieve victory? What did you do to, achieve victory playing the game?
Well, since I need to get total opposition on the board, the real trick was to keep Havana on at least passive opposition because it has a population of 6.
Right.
But I also had to make sure that these provinces, especially the ones that had greater populations, which evidently I did not succeed in, but were also on opposition because just 12 from Havana isn't enough to get up.
Right.
There.
So you had to just constantly keep on hammering at the opposition.
Yeah.
Which is what July 26th basically did. They just kept on trying to get folks to believe their way of thinking and such. And then we had this gentleman right here. He played the Directorio, and what his winning goal was is just to try to get the population in there. Alex, how did you feel playing the Directorio? What did you think that you did that you needed to do to achieve what you did? And where'd you end up anyway? You ended up pretty strong here. You ended up with 8 victory points here, not close to this, but how do you think the game played with what you had to do?
I think it was kind of hard to, because people can just place pieces there just to gain control of the place or make it uncontrolled, so I lose victory points.
Right. So the Directorio, they were the student-led folks, and what they tried to do is, again, get the population on their side, because it's kind of hard to, that was a hard faction to play. We have this gentleman over here, he played the casinos. And where did you end up on the track here? I think you ended up with 5 victory points.
Yeah.
How did you feel playing the casinos, the syndicate?
Well, for the most part, I felt that the casinos were kind of hard to play because it was really easy for them to shut down my casinos, so it was hard to keep up more than like 4 or 5,
right,
which isn't close to how many I actually need.
Right. So every time you open a casino, somebody's shutting you down, right?
Yeah.
Or stealing your money, one of the two, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we had this gentleman over here. He played the Batista government. So how did you feel playing that?
That was hard. I had to take control of the whole board and constantly was trying to control them and shut them all down.
Right. And so you ended up with total support down here on the low end. I think your victory conditions were supposed to be, which historically, again, well, Batista had to leave Cuba. So in July 26 took over. All right, guys. Great. Do you like the game?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good game, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Pretty fun. We want to thank Tony Curtis out of GMT Games for hooking us up with some stuff here. Again, these guys did a great job. All right, guys, the final question. Historically, did you guys learn any history here about playing this game?
Yes.
Yeah.
So you learned a little bit about a little period in time in history about playing Cuba Libre. Great game. Thank you guys out there at GMT again. Great, fantastic game, Cuba Libre. Games in the Classroom. This is GMT in the Classroom. Thanks a lot.